what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're here at the McAvoy Ranch in sunny, hot California, but you know what? Things are getting a little hotter because of this vehicle right here. This is the all-new, totally redesigned 2022 Infiniti QX60. But before we get into this top autograph trim, let's talk about what's going on here. Infiniti, doing the business since 1989, that premium brand of Nissan. You know what? They are ready for their own renaissance, just like the sister brand Nissan is having. Lots of changes coming down the pipeline, and it really is culminating with this QX60, because not only are you going to get a totally different exterior, but wait until you see the touches on the inside of things. Now, of course, that mid-size SUV segment is very, very busy. Lots of competition. Of course, you got the traditional German Euro brands. You got Acura, another premium brand from a Japanese company called Honda. But has Infiniti done the business to take down one of the mighty ones, if you're considering it, that BMW X5, mid-size SUV from that iconic German brand? So let's go ahead. I want to talk about some of the new touches that I think brings up the level of competition for the QX60 going up against the mighty X5, and figure out, what should you buy? Is this the better luxury SUV, mid-size luxury SUV compared to that BMW X5? Let's go ahead and find out with our 2022 QX60. Right off the bat, the color. It's called Moonbow. Really fits it so nicely because it's not a silver, it's not a blue, it's like a nice slate color, and I think it really brings up the level of class. Now, at the front of the business, I love the way they did the headlight housing. Very, very intricate, detailed design. You're gonna have full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. When you're comparing this to the X5, I think these headlight housings look a lot sportier and definitely give it that unique style to separate it from the rest of the German Euros, especially the BMW. Now, as we drop down, you are gonna have a fake corner vent here. This would have been perfect for some LED fog lamps, but style-wise, really, you could see the attention to detail in every little nook and cranny, and we just started. Now, as we come across the front grille area, you know, talking about BMW is known for their kidney-shaped grille design. This is a signature of Infiniti. Chrome trim all the way around the perimeter. You got the badge in the center. Of course, you're gonna have a forward-facing camera, just like you would find on the X5. I like this new addition of taking the name. Instead of putting badges all over the place, stamp it right into the trim. And then on the lower side of things, we're gonna get some flat black and some chrome additions on both sides. It brings a nice balance. And I think the one extra touch that this has over the BMW is definitely this grille design. That nice flowing water, Japanese shape of a philosophy brought into this overall grille. Now, when we get up onto the hood, clean body lines. It has a little bit softer side compared to the X5, and I think that that is another area where checks a box off for being different. You have a nice little peak that comes up in the center of the hood. Everything else kind of just waterfalls over the sides, just like that water design on the grille. Now, when we come around the bend, what do we work with? 20-inch wheels is the name of the day with the style on this autograph trim. You are gonna have machined aluminum, some gunmetal gray behind there. You have fully ventilated brake rotors, and we're looking at 255 on the width and a meaty 50 series sidewall. If you're comparing this to the BMW, yes, you could get 20-inch wheels. On the BMW X5, you could get even larger than 20-inch wheels. One area that I have to zonk it is definitely gonna be the flat black trim. I wish that they would just paint, especially this being the luxury SUV from Infiniti, would be nice to have the Moonbow color over the whole side. But coming down the fender, into the door, really, really clean. And what I really think is such a smart move is having the two-tone style. If you look at the X5, you're not gonna have this. This is something unique to this QX60, and I think it separates it from that BMW branded vehicle. Shiny bright metalwork, top and bottom, a little bit on the door handles and a little bit along that bottom. And like I said, when it comes to the name, instead of sticking more emblems on the vehicle. They just stamp it there. The great news is no fake vent, no fake fender vent, nice, smooth, everything flowing towards the rear. One of my favorite parts is gonna be this rear quarter window. I love the way they just wrap the black. So you got the tint of the glass, comes around to this gloss black area, and the way that they kind of flare out the trim really aligns it. Look at how it looks almost just like that butter knife style down below. They brought it onto the side of the vehicle. Now, when we get to the taillight area, you're gonna get full LED lighting. And what I think is so great about this style, super slim and trim. Just like on those mirror caps, super slim. Everything is housed together. They took the Infiniti badge, kept it nice and bold right across the back. This has all-wheel drive. You got your Infiniti badge. Just like the BMW, you are going to have that wiper that's protruding. I wish they would have tucked it underneath the backside, but definitely the way that they made this sleeker, but also gave it some strength. QX60 badge, dropping it down. Of course, we got our full tow hookup. We now can tow more with this 2022 QX60. The one thing I'm not really loving is this ornamental design. It almost looks like fake exhaust vents. I don't know if that's the direction they wanted to go in, but it does match with what's going up on the front end of the business with the shiny chrome. I'm just not so sure if I would have gave it this exhaust outlet style. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our 2022 QX60. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts, just like on the X5. Now, what's gonna be different are gonna be engine options. There are no engine options, but that, I think, kind of simplifies the whole experience. Underneath the hood, you're gonna have a tasteful engine cover. What's underneath that engine cover? We're looking at a V6 naturally aspirated engine. So no turbos, no supercharger, 3.5 liters in displacement, 295 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an all-new 9-speed automatic transmission. When we're comparing that to the BMW, now you're looking at an 8-speed automatic. So this one does have one extra gear in the gearbox, so to speak. The vehicle weighs 4,625 pounds. MPGs for all-wheel drive, you're looking around 20 in the city, 25 on the highway. If you go just front-wheel drive, you could add 1 MPG to both of those ratings. And at the end of the day, you could tow up to 6,000 pounds for this Infiniti QX60. That's a bonus because guess what? They got rid of the CVT. That definitely makes it compare with the BMW a little bit more. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see how it stacks up against that mighty German Euro. All right, guys, we're inside this QX60 autograph trim. I know you're saying, well, Joe, how much is this thing? Because I'm looking at BMWs, I'm looking at Audis, I'm looking at Benzes. I've never really thought about Infiniti, but I'm liking the changes. How much is it? So MSRP for this autograph trim in Moonbow, you're looking at $63,945. Comparing this to the X5, that's right around the same price point. Let's go to the door panels and see what you get for the money. Love the style, the attention to detail. That black wood trim is so exquisite. You're gonna have the 2 memory seat settings. We have a Bose multi-speaker premium sound system. The way they integrated it into the door panel, really artistic with the white contrast stitching, and we have the saddle brown interior. I'm actually really digging the door panel because there's no gloss black whatever to speak of. Now, door panel pocket is going to be large enough for 2 foot-long subs from Jimmy John's and a bottle of Code Red Mountain Dew to wash it down. Going from the door panel to the dash, same story. Look at the way they brought the dark stained wood, the stitching, soft touch. When you go autograph, this is your signature right here, is this signature stitching. Spot on the money for luxury, feel, fitment, and finish. Even on the glove box, we have that soft touch material, nice saddle brown. You got a pass through, easy. Look, there's my hand. You could put any type of thing there. There's enough room to put a football. So if you have that football that's been signed by Tom Brady because you were at the Super Bowl this year when the Bucs won, you could keep that football right there and just show it to everybody. Say, ha, ha, ha. Look at this, though. This is really what Infiniti is showing off for 2022. They did it. They updated the infotainment system. 12.3 inches is going to definitely line it up with the BMW X5. Wireless Apple CarPlay. You do have Android Auto. Navigation, is it a touchscreen? Of course it's a touchscreen. I love the way you go into menu and you got your analog clock. Look what we have. Massaging seats. Not only just for the driver, for passenger and the driver. And you could adjust everything right on the screen. Super clean. And then you could go right back to your map. Boom. Let me show you the backup camera. Quite respectable. I could actually count each pebble and stone in that dirt gravel road. And you got the 360. We can look at the 20-inch wheels very easily with trajectory. And, hold on, and there's a forward-facing camera as well. Boom. Look at that with the trajectory. Glad they brought that. Sliding down, not too gloss black heavy until you get to the controls. Now, comparing this to the BMW, very, very similar where the gloss black is, but you do have dual climate. Look at the way they did all the readouts. Ventilated seats, and heated steering wheel. We got wireless charging. They brought the stitching all the way down. You got 2 cup holders. This has that electric style shifter. So you're going to be able to go through that 9-speed automatic. We got drive modes, including personal mode, start stop button, and that rotary direct drive control knob that's very similar to the BMW iDrive controller. Nice soft touch material. Open this up. You could easily put a model of a BMW X5 in there, 1/18 scale with a USB and a 12 volt, and then the seats. The style, the touches where it says autograph, the perforated finish. Of course, you're gonna get full power assist with the massage for the passenger and the driver, and we have a full panoramic sunroof, which is wonderful. I'm not gonna open it up. It's literally 101 degrees right now. And then to top it off, your X5 doesn't have that digital rear view mirror. Very classy, tons of room, but why don't you come over to the business end? I got a flat bottom steering wheel I want to show you behind the wheel of in our QX60. All right guys, business side of things, seats are nice and comfy. I actually think they're more comfortable than the BMW X5 seats, especially because they are those zero gravity seats. Steering wheel though, could use a little work. And what I mean by that is the horn button. Just would like to see a leather finish on the actual horn button with some stitch work, but they did a great job, especially with the 10 and 2 notches. Flat bottom, you got your controls, all flat black. There are paddles behind the steering wheel. Would have been nice if they were metal to go up and down the 9-speed automatic transmission. And you do have the electric tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Dash though, just like the BMW, 12.3 inches you're gonna get. And if you notice, you got a cornucopia of information that you could scroll through. That really gives you all of the readouts and information. 10.8-inch head-up display, and you're getting the proactive assist, the 360 shield protection. That's going to keep you and your family safe. But let's get to the mid-row and see how your passengers are going to like this QX60 over the X5. All right, guys, mid-row time. What's nice is just like the BMW, you are going to get those shades that are built into the door, help keep the sun off of your passengers, especially if you have little kids. And that's one thing I want to point out is that if you're using a child safety seat, what this vehicle could do that your BMW can't is you could actually have the child seat tethered in, and when you go to move it to get the third row passengers out, you don't have to remove the seat. That's what makes that so unbelievable, whereas with the BMW, you're gonna have to remove the seat to move it forward to get to the backseat passengers, that third row passenger. But same great material, piping. Obviously, you got sliding and reclining. We have these wonderful pockets. You could put a back scratcher. You could put a couple, we're out here on this farm, this ranch, some farm fresh eggs. I just wouldn't squeeze them too tight unless they're hard boiled. You got your little command center here with your AC controls, heated seats, which is great. USB-C, USB, and a home power source. Plenty of leg room. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm liking the room that's in here. I don't feel so compact. And probably one of the best things compared to the BMW is you get this little center console where you could easily put 2 Bavarian pretzels and then fill this up with mustard. And you could just dip your pretzel in the mustard. And then when you're done, watch this. If you're saying, well, Joe, isn't that going to make a mess? You could actually remove this and then go wash it out. Can't do this with your BMW. And then 1, 2, 3, look how easy that is. You take the panel, you pop it back in. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop in that third row and see how much room we have in this QX60. All right, guys, third row time, and you know what? It isn't too bad of a situation. Normally these third row seats, you just want to put your kids that you don't like, your sons or your daughters back here that you like the least, put them back here. But the great news is, even at 6 feet tall, not too high. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I've been in worse. The great news is you're going to have 3-zone AC all the way to the third row. And what's nice is the way that they mounted the AC vents, if you have that reverse facing child seat, it's going to help keep your baby cool so that they're not screaming and driving you nuts. But they did a great job with the same style leather. You even have a little area here for some peanut M&Ms. Maybe give your passengers a treat for sitting back here. And you got USB, so you got 7 USBs. You got about 16 cup holders back here. That's gonna really just maximize your, big gulp and super slurpy run the next time you go to 7-Eleven with the fam. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in that cargo area and see what the heck we could haul in the QX60. All right, guys, one of the most important part of any family SUV is obviously the space underneath the rear hatch area. Great news is you could open it remotely by just having the key fob in your pocket and swiping the foot, or you could push the hidden button. You get a couple chimes, nice electric assist. What you're gonna be greeted to is a little bit more than 14 cubic feet of space. I like the way they have these aluminum style brush guards, so your kids are dragging their sports gear in and out. They're not gonna rip up everything. Those are replaceable. You have wonderful carpet quality. And then on the driver's side, you have a 12 volt, easy to get to for tailgating, for at the beach. These seats, what's interesting is that you manually lower them, but you can electrically bring them up. Before I do that though, you have this awesome storage bin. That's gonna give you another 2 cubic feet of space. And what's really fantastic about it is that you could take all your dirty items. Maybe you wanna hide some Christmas gifts, maybe even put the snacks in there. You wanna hide the snacks from your kids so they don't eat all your Twinkies and donuts and stuff. Lock it up in there, closes nicely. And if you notice, you lift it up, it stays. I think that is worth its weight in gold. Now to fold the seats down real simply, just gonna lift up and push. That's gonna take your space from 14 cubic feet of space up to almost 42 cubic feet of space. You fold the mid-row down, you're now looking at 75.4 cubic feet of space. To put the seats back up, watch, you push the button, one touch, and they come right back up. Or you could manually do it and pull on the tether. You put the headrest back up, but you know what? It's that magical time. We've been waiting for it. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go down this dirt gravel road on throttle in our 2022 Infiniti QX60. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 redesigned Infiniti QX60 Autograph trim. Right away, you're gonna notice the difference from the previous generation and this all new entry for 2022. The way that they've worked the materials, not only fit and finish wise, but also when it comes to things like the acoustic front windshield, acoustic side glass for the front seat passengers, and rear seat passengers are gonna get thicker side glass as well to help quiet out that noisy outside and keep the inside nice and serene. When you go the top trim, all of the finishes really just elevated. The stitch work is spot on. The technology, something that many people have been wanting more from Infiniti in that department, they now have raised that bar. So easy to reach to that 12.3 inch infotainment system, the 12.3 inch digital gauge pod. You got a 10.8 inch head-up display, the different drive modes, everything is well laid out in here. But let's do a little rolling on throttle. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. 9-speed drops down, we're going up a hill, and we're accelerating very smoothly. Nice shifts going through Napa Valley here. We're in a little bit of a train situation with a row of QX60s. But The feedback to the steering, the way that they rework the rack and pinion, you're gonna really enjoy not only on the highway, but even through some of these twists and turns. How the car handles is just so much more planted, very confident, confidence inspiring. And when you're trying to park in those tighter spots, maybe at the mall, maybe at the airport, that updated steering system is going to also help with that as well. So it's not just at speed, at faster speeds, it's also at the slower speeds and tighter spaces as well. All-wheel drive, they have that new coupling system that's going to allow smoother interaction between getting the power from the front to the power to the rear wheels. In the old system, there would be some slippage before the system would shift the power. With this new coupling system, you're not going to have that happen. It's going to be more seamless, and it doesn't wait for the actual slip to occur. With the way that they've reworked the suspension, it's not beating you up, even over some of the ripped up road terrain out here. Very, very smooth, but like I said, very, very planted as well. Is everything perfect? I do have to, like I said, like I zonked earlier, the steering on the steering wheel, the horn button, would like to see some nice stitching, maybe some leather on the actual horn button itself. But really, if you're looking hard to try to zonk things on the interior, you're going to be looking for a very long time, because the wood finish, the nice saddle brown interior is something different, but it works. It really works, especially with the exterior color. You got the digital rear view mirror, that smart rear view mirror system to where you could turn it on and off all by the flip of a tab. And lots of space up here, which not only you are going to enjoy as the captain of this ship, but also the people sitting in the mid row and the third row. All right, guys, as this road gets a little bit twistier and twistier, you really appreciate, I mean, watch this, as I go into this nice long left-hand bend, the way that it transfers the weight, keeps the SUV stable all the way through the turn. Really, really love the way it gives you the feedback that you want to the steering wheel. And like I said, even though they did some stiffening of the chassis, I'm not getting my internal organs shaken out of my body, which feels good. I want to keep my organs. I want to stay alive. And with this new Infiniti QX60, you'll be able to do that and enjoy the drive, but also have the versatility of all this room and the new technology. I know how some people feel about the floating iPad system of a screen, but really they did a great job not making it protrude very far past the dash line, and it's just so wide, massive, and it's got the clear graphics and fonts that you want. All right, guys, we're here at Goat Rock Beach, and it is just so phenomenal, the scenery of this amazing layout. And what really kind of showcases the pluses of this QX60 is just how easy it is to drive. I mean, here we are going down this tight, twisty road, and the great news is the QX60 does not feel like a big SUV, and that's what Infiniti wanted. They wanted it to be easy to drive, easy to navigate with, and this road is not the smoothest, and once again, it's just showcasing all the great engineering that's been done to give you confident handling, but also absorb everything. And it's also the work that they did with all the sealers and all the welding to really kind of isolate those vibrations from entering the cabin. But just absolutely gorgeous, just the beauty and the nature out here as we're leaving the Goat Rock Beach area and we're heading to our next destination. But hopefully this gave you a great overall feel about what the QX60 is bringing to the table. It really is a totally new driving experience, not only from the technology, but also the fit, the finish, and all the style. And then of course, that 4x4 all-wheel drive setup to get you through just about anything. But we're gonna get back to the ranch and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day out here at the McAvoy Ranch. So glad you came back for part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I highly recommend watching that one as well. I'll leave the link at the end of this review. Definitely got to say thank you to everybody at Infiniti USA for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle during the media event. The QX60, really getting some big changes, not only to the outside, also to the inside, and definitely that 9-speed automatic transmission making some big changes for this vehicle. Is it the one to buy over an X5? Let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section. Are you happier with this new QX60? Are you going BMW X5? Or are you going with one of the other brands? Let me know which way you would go. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the first link, become a Raiti's Rides Patreon member. Click the second link, get yourself some Raiti's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She's taken home all the accolades here in California for her great videography skills and her really strong strength for holding that camera during this long journey. So show Lori some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.